Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are here, myself, Lori Boss, Deni Benedict, Henry Lee, and Janet Murray Wolf. We are all part of the Healthy Living Revolution, inspiring healthy living around the world. And this topic tonight, I believe, is so important for people to realize. I've been in health nutrition for a few years now, and Dr. Sears, and I'll tell you a little bit more of who he is in a minute. This is his program, his study based on his book, and it blows me away what I learned from it. So basically, we're talking about waste versus weight. Waste, W-A-I-S-T. You know, there's always been this kind of sensitivity towards talking about fat and fat bellies and, you know, anybody not looking perfect. And he makes it so important to share because it's not about how you look. It comes from, it's a transformation from the inside out. Belly fat is toxic waste. Toxic waste. So diets don't work. It's mind over body and change. So the leaner belly, the higher energy we have. You have to eat real food to achieve that. Lean, not skinny. Think about that. You can see someone skinny and think they're healthy and in shape and doing great. They might be eating Fritos all day and eating nothing else. So they look skinny, but what's it like on the inside of their body? The right amount of body fat is necessary for your body type. So you get that by eating real healthy food. Better energy is increased when you eat right. So mitochondria, how many people know what mitochondria is? Raise your hands. Okay. I'm going to explain it as basically your energy batteries within your cells. And so the leaner you are, the more energy batteries that you have that are efficient. Basically, I would compare it to a car that you buy cheap gas for or you buy clean, better gas for. The car is going to run better if you put a better product in it, right? A cleaner product. So that's what we're looking at. When we eat clean, healthy food, we put that right, clean food into our body to create the best performance. And as we increase our health keeps increasing. And without health, what do we have, right? Health is wealth. Like I said, toxic waste is a big belly. You know what a big belly is created from? Bad hormones. Do you know what bad hormones turn into? Disease. They cause cancer. They cause every different thing that you can think of. There's a new word called diabesity. Can you believe it? Diabesity, the same as Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's is diabetes of the brain. Our brain and our guts are connected. That's why I said that. But what I want to share now is a little bit of my story and why I'm so happy that I learned about Juice Plus and our real food and capsules. So for many years, I had migraines. I tried everything from Eastern culture to Western medicine, everything that you can think of. Do you know what finally took my migraines away? Starting to eat Juice Plus. After 9 months, I've only had maybe one migraine every 6 months. I used to have them every day on a scale of 1 to 10. I also want to share that during COVID, before COVID, I worked out all the time. And I thought working out would keep me in shape, keep me healthy. You know what a personal trainer said to me one time? Lori, did you know you can't outrun a cheeseburger? As I was running on the treadmill. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, you'll get it someday. He didn't explain it. So I've recently learned that, you know what creates health? 80% nutrition and 20% activity and exercise. So you can be at that gym every day and think that you're doing everything that you can to stay healthy. But if you're not putting the right things in your body, that's not going to work. Now, another thing that I want to share is I'm so happy that I learned about Juice Plus because my mom, right here beside me, Janet, started eating Juice Plus about 2 years ago. She had been a Weight Watchers lifer, okay? She had yo-yoed up and down her whole life. In fact, we had a joke about looking for Jetson food years ago because Jetsons have those little capsules that have everything they need in them so you know you're eating what you need to eat. Little did we know that's what these capsules are exactly. They're real food in capsules. So my mom has been able to lose about 55 pounds over those 2 years and keep it off. That's a huge, big deal. Plus, still eat what she wants. It just bridges the gap between what she likes, and she knows that if she eats those capsules, her body is going to have the nutrition that it needs. So I just can't say enough how important it is to me for people to realize that belly fat is created from bad food, creates bad hormones, creates disease. And one thing that my stepfather used to say is, have you ever seen a 90-year-old fat belly person? I don't think I have, right? So, okay, I didn't tell you who Dr. Sears is, but I will, should I do that? So our study is based on, our presentation tonight is based on Dr. Sears. He's a pediatrician in California and has been in pediatrics for over 40 years. He's a Harvard School graduate, and he has written over 40 books. We are focusing tonight on his T5 wellness plan. You don't want to miss the rest of this. I'm going to now turn this over to Henry.
Oh. All right. I was sitting pretty cool. All right. Again, thanks for joining us. As Lori said, Dr. Sears is a world-renowned 50-year-plus practicing pediatrician. He received his degree from Harvard University. He ended up going on and doing further studies at the Children's Hospital in Toronto. He's written over 40 books, and so this guy is really the expert. And so what we're doing tonight is basically giving you a highlight of the two-part series called Waste Management. And so Lori highlighted the first half hour of his two-part series. I'm going to go ahead and take the second portion, and then Deni here is going to wrap up with the last part of it. So in order to do this, I wanted to go ahead and share my screen with you with a couple of my notes, because I do not want to miss anything important. So here we go. Screen, desktop. There we go. Okay. So as you can see here, this is, there it is. Okay. So Dr. Sears, shares about his fat, my big fat sweet transformation. And you can see a couple of the things that started, he started experiencing once he got rid of that 7 inches of belly fat. The second portion, which I'm highlighting, talks about hormonal harmony. And hormonal harmony deals with 2 different hormones, leptin, which is the lean protein, and then the ghrelin, which he calls the gorging protein. And so a balance of these in your body will dictate when you have cravings and when you feel full, when you feel satiated. And so it's about being able to be in hormonal harmony rather than being too thin or too wide. And we call that body balance. He uses a couple examples with kids, like up to 6 months. It's healthy for a baby to be fat. It's healthy for 90-plus-year-olds. One of the things that was studied was what are the things that all 90-plus-year-olds have in common. And they interviewed several thousand people, and they found that it was, one of the things was that they had a healthy amount of fat in their body. And so it's the type of fat.
So
as you can
this
see
is
here,
Philippians
the
2:3.
types of fat
Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. So when we're holding that grudge and saying, I'm protecting my peace.
He says, this is Mandy.
Who are you protecting? For real, you're protecting yourself.
And the bottom was Sitting Sam. And Sitting Sam is eating unhealthy fats like hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Go ahead and cut off my
and that is the sticky.
So by cutting off someone that God loves,
and so the sticky fat is
so you
what
have to show the
results
love of God.
in this guy right
I'm
here.
sorry.
Right. So this is Sam, Sitting Sam, and that right here is moving Mandy, and this is what moving Mandy's arteries looks like when she's eating healthy fats. that feed her healthy brain. Or Mandy the Mover, sorry, that's what he calls it. So Dr. Sears does a great job in his presentation, which we'll give you the link for the full part 1 and part 2 at the end of this presentation here. He also talks about not waiting until you're 50, 60 years old until switching your lifestyle. And really the 30s and 40s is the time for transformation, because if you notice, all that unhealthy fat, the sticky fat, goes into the outer lining of your arteries. And so by the time you're 20, you're 30, you're 40, even though you've accumulated a lot of that sticky stuff, then you don't really feel the effects, because the blood flow is the same. It's not until you accumulate up to about 60% blockage until you start feeling any difference in your blood pressure and your arteries being clogged. And so he goes into a couple different effects and the science behind that. And I won't go into too much detail. I'm not the expert. Dr. Bill Sears is about brain health, how that's affected by belly fat, how your arthritis and your joint health is affected by belly fat, and cancer cells is affected by belly fat. And this is his new book called Help Heal Yourself from Cancer.
And it's not that like, okay, I need this person back in my life.
Since he also dealt with cancer. And so this is just a quick summary about the 4 different areas
people can just,
belly fat
do
effects.
that. I've never
just wanted to share that with you guys.
I've never done that for a person, but
screen share.
There are so many situations like I'm always that I feel like, okay, I'm going to keep forgiving, and it's just like, even in relationships.
And so a little bit about my journey here. So I met these guys about 4.5 years ago.
Really hard to do.
And I had no idea what this juice plus stuff was.
And I have to forgive this person.
Dr. Bill Sears was one of these other physicians that I heard the name of. But for me, my background is from the classroom. So every year I taught You Are What You Eat.
Hey, Henry.
But I never really took that to heart, because while I was teaching that in the classroom, I was also, eating Burger King 3 times a week, and Arby's on Sundays after church. And if I really took that phrase, "You are what you eat," and just show of hands, how many of you have heard that phrase before? You are what you eat. Okay, keep your hands up. How many of you have said that phrase before? You used that phrase before. Yeah, so it's a cliche that we often say, but really if we believed it, then this is really what it means. Go ahead and pinch your hand here. You pinch your hand, or pinch your skin on your hand, okay? As you're holding that, if you were to look at your calendar 28 days ago, what were you doing 28 days ago? So today is April 26th, so March 26th, if you were at Cece's Pizza, if you were at Mellow Mushroom, if you were at Burger King, you were literally touching what you ate 28 days ago, because your skin replaces it 28 days ago. And we are what we eat. Literally, what we put in our mouth becomes our bodies. And so that's what Dr. Bill Sears emphasizes is, someone's at the door. That what we put on our body literally becomes part of us. I mean, we digest it, rearrange it, and then it becomes part of ourselves. And so once I understood that concept, and I started flooding my blood with tons of fruits and vegetables, which is really impossible to do unless you can dehydrate it, right? Get rid of the sugar, and you end up with dehydrated fruit powders and veggie powders. It is, and how convenient that, like Lori said, you can put it in capsules. And so that's what Juice Plus is. It's a vehicle in order to deliver the cells what God designed our cells to actually thrive on. And my arthritis, or my joint pain went away. I got off of glucose and chondroitin. My skin cleared up, all my acne scars, and I had pits in my face from years and years of acne throughout my 20s and 30s. I'm 40 years old. Going on 41, and you can't tell that I had all these scars from acne on my face because I switched over to this plant-based diet that floods my body every single morning and every single night with over 30 fruits and vegetables. And so my encouragement for you is, to continue learning Don't take it just from us. Look at the research, take a look at, get back to the person who sent you this recording or invited you tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Deni because she has an incredible story as well.
Thanks, Henry. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you're joining us either live here in person, or if you're on Zoom with us or you're watching the recording. We're just so glad that you came here. My name's Deni Benedict, and I have been on this quest to understand wellness for a good 20 years now. And I'll share a little bit of my story with you later. But I wanted to jump back into a couple of the highlights from Dr. Sears' training. And I will tell you, it's a continual journey where you're constantly learning when it comes to health and nutrition. But there are some very, very basic things that I think everyone understands. And that's, first of all, that we need fruits and vegetables, that they're good for us, and we probably don't eat enough of them, considering that it's recommended that we eat 7 to 13 servings every day. And I know I don't do that, and very few people do. So one of the things Dr. Sears recommended as you're trying to reduce the belly fat is don't go hungry. He says that the brain and the gut, as Lori, I think, was talking about, and Henry also talked about, those two are in constant communication with each other through the vagus nerve, which is one of the biggest nerves in our body. And they're constantly sending messages back and forth. When you're slightly hungry, that's when you want to eat, because your brain's getting the message, or your brain's getting, it's saying, I'm hungry. It's saying to the gut, we're hungry. The gut's saying back to the brain, okay, let's get some food. But if you wait and you wait too long to eat when you're hungry, and then you're really hungry, your gut starts sending the message to the brain that's even more powerful, saying, eat food, and eat more food. And so we have a tendency to overeat. So if you've ever met anybody who gets hangry, that's what's happening. They're angry because they're too hungry. So his recommendation is that you eat when you just start to get hungry. Also, he is a huge fan of growing a garden, and he does have a tower garden, which we can show you Lori's a little bit later. But basically, it's a way to grow 20 to 28 plants in about 3 square feet of space. And the reason he recommends gardening is because he really believes we all should be eating salads several times a day. And he recommends that you eat a big salad before you actually eat your main course. That way you're filling your body up with really good stuff that it needs, and you're not quite as hungry and may not eat quite as much of the main course. He's also a very big fan of eating healthy fish, specifically wild-caught Alaskan salmon. And there are a couple of reasons for that. It's very, very healthy fat, and it's very healthy protein. And those two things combined fill you up. We don't get fat by eating healthy fats. And he's very clear about that. We get fat by eating unhealthy carbohydrates. So what does that look like? Healthy fats are salmon, walnuts, seeds, nuts, avocado, olives. Those are healthy fats, and most of them come from plants. An unhealthy carb is white rice, white bread, potato chips, all the stuff, all the carbs that don't naturally have fiber in them. So when you're looking at eating a carb, you want to make sure that there's good natural fiber that comes in that carb. He talks about smart snacking. He says, eat twice as often, half as much, chew twice as long, and take twice as long to dine, to be more mindful of your eating patterns. And if you break up what you're eating through the day, then you become a grazer. And he said, we are a country of gorgers, and we have a tendency to just gorge food. We just eat it really fast, and we eat too much of it. Whereas if we graze throughout the day, we're less likely to eat as much food, and we're satiated throughout the day. And at doing that also allows your body to have a nice steady delivery of insulin, as opposed to gorging your food. Then you're having spikes, and that is going to increase your risk of diabetes. So again, grazing is really good. Eat more often, but eat half as much as you would normally. So eat the same amount, just spread it out over the day and eat healthy snacks. So the next thing I'm going to have Henry do is share a video where he's talking about science-based supplements. And we wanted you to hear this piece directly from Dr. Sears because it's very important.
All right, so I'm gonna switch the audio over so you guys can see what we're talking about. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me right now. Awesome.
Science-based supplements. I get this question all the time in my office. And so I'm going to, what I'm going to hear is true in selecting any supplement, because we're overloaded with supplement confusion. You go into a drugstore and there are all kinds of it. So very easy. Show me the necessity. Do I need it? Show me the science. Is there lots of science behind this particular supplement? Show me the source. Where does it come from? Real food? Therefore, if I need it, but I don't eat it, then I must take it. So that's the rationale.
All right, can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear Dr. Sears talking?
So then the next, after I got their attention,
okay, thank you.
I say, because again, fruits and vegetables, seafood, that's what we want to lean out. I say, do you eat 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day? 10 fistfuls. Hold up your fist. So if you got a big guy fist or a baby fist, all ages, 10 fistfuls of fruits and veggies every day. No, doctor, I can't eat that much. Do you eat 2 fistfuls of wild salmon every week? No, I'm a vegan doctor. I don't like fish. Okay. You need it, but you don't eat it. Therefore, you must take it. And then they will say, okay, now I see you made the point. I agree, I must take it. What do I take? Show me the source. And then we go to the source. And I use in my medical practice to teach parents, parents especially about supplements, Juice Plus, because for 2 reasons, Kristen. It's the one I've been on for 25 years, take it every day, mainly because my nurse wife made me back when I had my health problems. Doctors marry nurses because we live longer. Anyway, Martha said, Bill, just take it. Yes, dear. Okay, so, but the reason I take it because it has so much science behind it, but it makes sense. And I start with the brain. The brain is mostly fat. That's why we're all fatheads. And what happens to fat? It oxidizes. You ever left a piece of fresh fish out overnight and it stings, it oxidizes. Therefore, we need more antioxidants. And what are the 4 best sources of antioxidants? Fruits, veggies, berries, and seafood, omegas. No, that makes sense. That was easy. So that's why in my office, I prescribe the quad the most. And also because it has the most science behind it, as we're going to see. It's 40 studies and counting. But the one I like the most, I call it the bioavailability study. This is what doctors look at. Basically, we want to know is what's in the capsule. If you want to show the next slide, we want to know what's in the capsule. is that what gets into the bloodstream? What I put in my mouth, does it go to my blood? Okay. And so what the Juice Plus organization did as my favorite bioavailability study is they took Juice Plus eaters and they drew blood from them and measured their blood. And they found out what's in the capsule is in the blood. So that was my motivator to take it every day. I still am. Over 30 extracts of fruits and veggies in a capsule. And we doctors call this synergy, meaning a little bit of a lot work together as a team. Like a symphony plays better music if you have more like 30, 40 players instead of just 1 or 2. So this is why I love the Juice Plus trio, the fruits, veggies, and berries. And the other one I love is the omega. You know, the omega, we call it the quad, which is a seafood base. You can be a vegan and have seafood because you have sea plant, an algae source, which is the omega blend, Juice Plus omega blend. And another thing I love about the Juice Plus health club, and is that the Shred 10 is a wonderful, I call it habit transforming program to transform your taste, transform your habits to healthier food, to lean out. And I use the term Juice Plus Health Club, Kristen, because it's really the best health club I've ever joined. And I've had the honor of being a medical advisor for the Juice Plus organization for over 20 years. And I'm going to say it is the greatest company of integrity I have ever had the honor to work with, because they're making a difference. And what do? We're a personal growth club, We help you all grow medically, socially, and financially. So, you newcomers, welcome to the club.
Tell us.
Okay, so we are back. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And Deni, you're on.
Okay, well, I don't know about you, but when I watched that video for the first time, I just was so grateful that there are physicians out there who are really considering, is this something that we need? Are we able to do it on our own? And if not, is there good, solid research behind a product that helps to bridge that gap? And, you know, Dr. Sears talked a little bit about our research, and a couple of things I want to talk about is the Juice Plus weight management research. So any research that we've done that's relevant with weight management. Well, first of all, Juice Plus improves your metabolic profile. That means that your metabolism is running at a healthier rate. And that really does help when you're looking to lose body fat, you're looking to lose weight. You want a healthy metabolism, and Juice Plus has been shown to do that in those clinical third-party published research studies. Juice Plus also reduces insulin resistance, and that's what leads to diabetes. So we're looking at the underlying causes of different physiology health markers that lead to disease. So reducing insulin resistance is very important. Juice Plus has been clinically proven to do that. It reduces inflammation in all areas of the body. Now, this is key. Everything, any kind of chronic disease comes from inflammation in the body. So again, we're not talking about curing or treating disease. I'm not talking about curing and treating cancer, heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune issue, but we're talking about treating the issues at the base level that cause disease. Juice Plus also has been shown to improve circulation and cardiovascular health. One of our studies was published in the Journal of the College of Cardiology, major journal for cardiologists. And so it really supports that. So those are all things that we talked about when it comes to reducing belly fat. So it just makes sense for Juice Plus to be a part of your diet every day. Dr. Sears also talks about the importance of exercise. You know, you want to create muscle. You want to focus on creating muscle because muscle burns fat. And so if you're not moving, you're missing out on a lot of great health things that happen. First of all, it mobilizes your immune system to exercise. It's healthy for your brain benefits. It strengthens your heart. It mellows your mood. And there are so many other things that it does. The best exercise to do is the one that you're going to do, the one you enjoy doing. The last thing he talked about is stressing less and how that really does help you to stay lean. 5 stress busters are 1, trash the toxic thoughts. Listen to what you're saying to yourself, because we all feel just we're terrible. We're our worst critics. So listen to what you're saying to yourself, trash that toxic thought and replace it with a positive one. Have an attitude of gratitude. He recommends you wake up in the morning and think about what you're grateful for and go to bed doing the same thing. So start and end your day with gratitude. Take time during the day to take some deep breaths. It really does calm down your whole system. Just take time to do 4 or 5 deep breaths and you'll notice an immediate response in your body. Enjoy the helper's high. I know this means so much to me. I love helping people. I love being a part of helping them have a better story. And it's a helper's high that we get. So go out and do good in the world. And finally, meditate more and agitate less. If that's meditation for you, prayer, quiet time, contemplation time, those 5 things really do help to release stress. So I wanted to share a little bit of my story, and I'm going to bring it into that research aspect that I talked about. Juice Plus came into my life 20 years ago. I can't believe I'm old enough to say that, but I'm way older than that. It came in my early 40s. And at the time, I'd been dealing with chronic autoimmune issues since my 20s. And I had very severe chronic fibromyalgia. I had severe chronic migraines. Was raising 3 kids with my husband, and I did not have the energy that I wanted to embrace life in the way that I wanted to. And honestly, I'm going to say this because I didn't know that I could feel so much better. People don't know that. They don't know how good they can feel unless they feel that good. So when I heard about Juice Plus, I noticed really quickly a change in my energy. I noticed that I was sleeping better. And within about 12 to 18 months of adding it to my diet, after having autoimmune issues for 20 years, I didn't have them anymore. And I've been symptom-free for 18 years. And that's pretty amazing, but it was this catalyst that got my health journey going. It wasn't just overnight that everything happened. We are a result of years of habits, but you can start new healthy habits anytime. And so I watched my kids all 3 of our kids, constantly in the pediatrician's office, sick with ear infections, this, that, cold, viruses. To 20 years later, they're all extremely healthy. We stopped going to the doctor's office when they were younger because they didn't have to go anymore. They were getting the right nutrition is the point I'm trying to make. So if for you, the next step might be just getting the nutrition of Juice Plus in your body, and that's great. And most likely it's going to lead to other changes, like more exercise because you have more energy, you're sleeping better, maybe you're drinking more water. It leads to changes and your body craves what you put in it. The other thing that you may be thinking about is you're thinking about you yourself and how this could benefit you is you probably know some people in your life that could benefit from better nutrition too. Maybe you're thinking about someone who's dealing with disease or someone who's struggling with energy, or they're overweight and they're carrying weight that's really causing harm to the body. And if so, we would encourage you to consider joining us in this mission of inspiring healthy living. What we do is so needed, and it's so simple, and it's so easy to tell someone, I have a way for you to get fruits and veggies in a capsule. It's just, and it's backed by such incredible clinical published research. And if that's the case for you and you're thinking of other people, I would encourage you to talk to the person who invited you. We need more people to get this message out. And for only $52 a year, you can have your own Juice Plus franchise, get paid back on your own products, And then you, as you share with other people, you get paid back on their products too. And our company has a fabulous thank you bonus of $100 when you just share with a couple people. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm just going to encourage you to take that next step, whatever that is for you. If you have questions, talk to the person who invited you. And we are all so grateful that you came. We wish you were here with us in person, but we're so grateful that you're hearing this message. And Henry, I'm going to turn it back to you.
All right. So we just wanted to give you a thank you for joining us. Everyone say hi. Thanks for joining us. And we, again, if you haven't already in the chat, go ahead and type in who invited you, and we will send you a recording of tonight and all of the 2-part series from Dr. Sears. So, all right. I'm going to stop the recording right here.